Let's get to that right now, shall we? Jim the Bag, NHL. Overall, Jim the Bag and I, of course, a lot of volatility and variance in NHL. So Jim and I have our up days, Jim and I have our bad days, but overall, yesterday was a small winning day for both of us, and that brings me to 34-28 plus 8 units plus 11.5% ROI on the year. Jim, after having been negative units recently, is now 41-40 plus 3 units plus 3.5% ROI overall on the year, and those are both excellent records. And if we can maintain anywhere close to that long term over the season, that is just phenomenal. That is just elite level sports betting media produced right there. All right, so we got a massive card today, and yesterday, of course, we're starting to get good at these like low-hanging fruit NHL plays that we both agree on, Jim. Yesterday, easy casher with Chicago. We both like that. I'm okay with the fact that the over lost, though.
I'm okay too, but you're right. What we are doing is and I think this could change 40, 50 games into the year, but in the early part of the season, we are seeing the teams who have a distinct, clear advantage, taking them on the puck line and cashing at big numbers.
Right. Okay, well, I'm seeing 2 of those today, Jim.
So am I.
They might be the same one. I hope we're not. This is kind of like, you know how like when women hang out a lot together, they start to menstruate at the same time? This is what it's like. When we sit next to each other, we start to pick the same NHL puck lines every day. All right, first one, obviously, I'm sure this is one of yours, right? Rangers in Tampa Bay, right? Tampa Bay is just been rolling, dominating. The Rangers have been scoring and winning, but their wins were against Arizona and Vegas, both teams in questionable spots. So I think we can take both of those with a little bit of a grain of salt. And Tampa Bay is just rolling. Why would they not be a great bet here, Jim?
They are a great bet, and I think we should take the team total over as well with Tampa Bay. I do. Lightning are coming off a home loss to the Ducks, and Vasilevsky was not in goal for that one. He has won 9 straight and is 10-1 on the season. Let's talk about how good this Lightning team is. Number 1 in goals per game at 4.1. Number 2 in power play at 29%. 6th in goals allowed at just 2.7. This is a very good hockey team, and the Rangers are 0-3 on the road this year. The only guy scoring consistently is Zibanejad. Zuccarello has 10 points, but if you take the game against Vegas out, he's been held off the score sheet 7 of his last 10 games. The Rangers are in big trouble. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It just looks kind of like a no-brainer here to me. Maybe this counts as low-hanging fruit. Maybe we can start having low-hanging fruits. I'm going to take I did bet this one on the overnight line, and I'm proud to say I got a little bit of a better line than what it is right now, but I'm going to take Tampa Bay -1. The money line part of that is -170 and the puck, at a bunch of places, and the puck line part of that is +178 at Pinnacle, so that's tiny plus money on Tampa Bay +1. And how do you want this, Jim? I want -1.5
wow, okay.
at +178. And I would like to take the team total over.
All right,
if that is available.
You're sure about that? I'm looking at that at Pinnacle. It is here. Let me find it.
3.5?
It is 3.5 plus 122.
It is 3.5. Okay, you know what?
On the other hand, last time you did this was with the what was the game where you took it? It was the Rangers, right?
It was the Rangers,
and it cashed,
and
you wound up getting +110 on that one.
Okay, +110. Well, that was against the guaranteed terrible goaltender. You know what? I think it's a mistake taking the +3 and over 3.5 consistently. I think I will lose in the long run. So I'm going to take off the team total over. I'm just going to take -1.5 at +178.
You know what I'm also thinking about doing here? I'm doing a little bit cute, looking to pad my record a little bit. I'm thinking maybe getting a little bit cute here and taking the Tampa Bay on the first period, which is -150. Just the way the Rangers game ended in their last game with that, come from behind win over a bad team, feels like they might come out a little bit sluggish here on the road. What do you think? Is that trying to get a little cute?
Well, I think the Lightning will come out blazing, especially after their home loss to the Ducks. But it is
All right, I might be getting a little bit cute here, but I will do that. It's just -150 on the first period. Of course, if it winds up 0-0-1-1, that pushes. If the Rangers win it, then I'll have to eat a unit and a half, and I'll be annoyed with myself that I tried to get cute and tried to sneak in an extra unit onto my record. But if Tampa Bay wins, I'll have an extra unit and be like, I told you so. So I'm going on it two ways. I like it enough that I'll be okay if Tampa Bay loses the first period and I have to eat a unit and a half of loss. -150 Tampa Bay on the first period money line, Jim.
Like it.
Okay, and then the other one that I'm seeing, maybe this is not the second one that I was thinking about, but of course we faded Philadelphia yesterday with Chicago. We nailed it, and that was the right call. And I'm feeling the same way about St. Louis, although the line is headed up a bit. The Greek does still have -170. Philly, just again on a back-to-back. Yesterday it was as much of a fade of Philly as it was a play on Chicago, and I feel like the same type of deal here, as much of a play on of a fade of Philly as is a play on St. Louis. And and I like him on the -1 line. What do you think, Jim? Is that the other one you were looking at?
That's the other one.
Okay, all right.
I think this is low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Or the what do you guys want me to call it? The hat of the day or something? Yeah, I think this is a great spot. Blues are 6-0-1 their last 7. They will try to remain the only team in the NHL not to lose at home. Jake Allen's been great in net. Jaden Schwartz has 17 points in 13 games. But the main reason we are doing this is because of the injuries on the Flyers' defense. Already without Gostis, Barron, and McDonald. They lost another one. They lost another defenseman last night to injury. So now they have Robert Hagg, Brandon Manning, Travis Sanheim, and Mark Alt playing defense for them. And I had no idea who these players were up until 48 hours ago. I thought Brandon Manning may have been the leader of the Reform Party of Canada at one point. I had no idea who these guys are, and they're in deep trouble.
Yeah.
They are in enormous trouble with these rookies. These rookies are going to have to play 20 minutes a game. They are in. I like this Flyers team. I like this Flyers offense. But they are in enormous trouble until they can get some defensemen back. I'm taking the puck line here with the Blues.
All right. Well, I will be on the -1 line, and that will be the money line part of that. Will be -170 at the Greek, and the puck line part of that for St. Louis. Best line. I'm line shopping right now at SBRodds.com as we speak. I'm line shopping right now. Interesting. Pinnacle has 165, but a bunch of places have 170. DSI, the Greek, and UWager all have a +170. So, Jim, you're on St. Louis on the puck line +170, and I'm on St. Louis -1, which actually at the Greek line would be exactly +100, with the money line being -170 and the puck line being +170. Now, with the Tampa Bay game, I didn't want to take the over just because of how good Vasilevsky's been. This game, though, I am thinking about the over. It's just 5.5. What do you think about that one, Jim?
Yeah.
We got burned a little bit yesterday trying to get cute, adding on the over with the Chicago game.
Yeah, it did hurt us last game, and I guess that just the recency bias of the situation is why I'm not taking it. Chris Temple here in the chat says Blues 6-2. Delta 7575 says Blues 4-1. I think the issue is the Flyers will have to play differently with these rookie defensemen. They're not going to be getting the outlet passes. I know that their best players like Giroux and these guys are going to have to come back more. They're not going to be getting the opportunities. I think they're going to try to play a more defensive game because of the issues on defense. Now,
even if they get down big, I mean,
well. You know, you're right. As soon as I was saying that, I said that can go the other way as well. With these rookie defensemen, there could be holes all over the ice. There could be opportunities. There could be a lot of power plays for the Blues. I think the Blues are going to score goals.
Yeah, and actually, weirdly, I actually did bet the over. I think I got it. I got the puck line on a good line on the overnight line, but I also bet the over, and I think I took -113 or something. Now money's coming in on the under, and now actually the over 5.5 will be +101 at Pinnacle.
Wow, that's
I wonder why that would be.
Yeah, I wonder what maybe.
What's your take on Allen in goal for St. Louis?
I think he's very good. I think he's close to becoming a top 5 or 6 goaltender in the NHL. Close. Right now, he's definitely the top 12 or 13 goalies in the NHL, and he's just getting better and better, it seems.
So you think we might really see like a 4-1, 5-0 kind of game here?
Yeah, I do think so, and that was one of the scores that was picked by Delta 7575 was Blues win 4-1. I am concerned about that, and I'm concerned that if the Blues get up 3-0 early, that they just start dumping and chasing and playing a very simple game and playing 4 lines and not overusing their best players.
All right, I think my attempts to get cute with the Tampa Bay game, I'm okay with, and I'm happy with. This one I will hold off on. I did bet the over, but I'll hold off on it as an official pick. I'll just take St. Louis -1 at +100, and Jim has St. Louis puck line +170. All right, there's a bunch of other games going tonight. We'll get to hopefully as many of them as we can. There's a couple other plays that I'm liking. What else are you liking from today's card, Jim?
I'm liking the over in the Golden Knights at Bruins game. Initially, I was interested in this Bruins puck line as well, and I backed off of it because the Bruins are dealing with more injuries. They're already without Krejci. Now they lost Backus because he had surgery to remove part of his colon due to diverticulitis? What is it?
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, but it has to do with the colon.
I mean, for all whatever problems we might have in life, it could always be worse. We could have colon surgery, and got to remind myself that all the time.
Yeah, you could have part of your colon removed. So, didn't mean to bring you down.
No, it's all right. No, you actually brought me up because I have to remind myself how lucky I am, but then also I feel bad for the guy who has it. So, and anyone who's watching who has diverticulitis, like it makes you feel bad for them. they're fans of the show, but they have diverticulitis and they have to have their colon removed.
Diverticulitis. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
No, that sounds right. And I don't know how good looking your colon is, but I imagine pretty nice. So Glenn says that Lagace played great. Those are really kind words. He allowed 5 goals on 37 shots. He now has a 6.38 goals against average and 8.13 save percentage. Now, this was a Vegas team that had only allowed 19 goals in their first 9 games. I think there's going to be goals scored here, and I'm going to trust Bergeron to pocket a couple of himself. So I like the over here. Well,
I was leaning that way as well, and I did bet it. It's 6 minus 104. I'm not going to give it as an official pick, though. That is a lean that I will write down on my leans sheet, and if it cashes, I'll make note of the fact that I had a lean there. It's just a little bit of a high total, but I was definitely leaning that way as well. Do you have any thoughts right now on Tuukka Rask in general?
I do. He does not look good. I've been very surprised at how bad he looks, and that was the reason why this was a clear over for me. 2.93 goals against average and 8.98 save percentage. And now Khudobin is hurt.
Yeah.
So Rask has to play, and that was the put this bet over the top. I think this is a really nice spot, and I'm going to take it.
Yeah, I was leaning that way as well. I did bet it on the overnight line, and I think the only reason I can't give it here and tail you on that one is just because I still have like Tuukka Rask in my head, and I guess I still have an association with both these teams that they're not that explosive offensively, but you think that that's not an issue, huh?
I don't think this is an issue. We just saw the Bruins put up 3 goals against the Jackets, and they are a good defensive team with great goaltending.
All right, let's move on to another game that I also bet on the overnight line. Got a great line on this one. We'll see what you have to say about this one. This might be, I have a feeling this is going to be one of the games that you're going to completely pass on. Oh, and it does involve Winnipeg. And by the way, I think it was 2 days ago or whenever it was that I had a winning day in NHL, but my one loser was Winnipeg, and I was like, damn, I was wrong on that one. No, that whole pick was based on the assumption that Mason was playing, but he didn't play.
And how good is Hellebuck?
Yeah.
Like we said in the very beginning of us working together, we talked about how good Hellebuck was, how he was going to take over the job.
You said that, yes. And I immediately put that in my brain as something I'm going to agree with. Yeah.
And now he's 6-0-1 with a 1.91 goals against average, 940 save percentage. Those are Vezina numbers.
Yes. I mean, if I had known that he was starting instead of Mason, no way in hell I would have taken minutes. What is against the Wild? Was that who they played? Yeah. No way in hell I would have taken them. I thought they had Mason in goal. So now I believe Hellebuck is playing again, and I bet the under. I got 6.5 on the overnight line at Heritage. 6.5 minus 118. I'm not kidding. You can go to SBRodds.com and you can check the line histories by clicking on the square in the book and the game. And if you go to the SBRodds.com line history and you look at the Heritage line history, you will see that 6.5 existed on the overnight line, and I jumped on that one on the under. Now it's down to 6. I'm thinking that 6 might be a good bet as well. Obviously, we just talked about Hellebuck. On the other side, Dallas, they have a lot of shots on goal, but they've been, very modest scoring recently. Bishop is expected to be in goal for Dallas, and he is excellent. What do you think about the under even at 6?
I question it a little because these 2 top lines are so good. They may have 2 of the best first lines in the league. But if it was available at 6.5, I would take it immediately. But 6, I have reservations. But in saying all that, I think that the Jets are not they're not being respected the way they should, and the Stars are getting too much respect. Now, the Stars just had a bonding excursion in Kelowna and Whistler. Is that going to help the team? The real is Jason Spezza hasn't got a point in his last 5 games, doesn't have a goal this year. They have Ben Seguin and Radulov, and that's it.
Yeah.
I like the Jets. I was surprised at the line that this was almost a pick'em.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take the Jets absolutely with this number.
Really?
Without even a second of hesitation, I'll take the Jets at home in a pick'em against the Stars.
Really? Because I was actually thinking that because of the spot, it was actually a good spot for Dallas, and I was thinking another kind of like Dallas 2-1, 3-1, 2-0 win.
That is possible, but in a pick'em with the Jets the way they're playing at home, I will take that every day, every opportunity I can get.
Okay, so you want to make that an official pick?
I do.
All right, so Winnipeg is right now at Pinnacle, best line plus 101. Winnipeg plus 101. All right, Winnipeg plus 101. And just in the 10-second version of why you don't like the under at 6 again?
Well, the Stars have had a few days off.
Yeah.
They only have 1 line scoring, and so when I watch them play, their second, third, and fourth line, their only job is to keep the puck out of the net. They are not taking risks at all. So the Stars are getting all their goals on the power play. So Paul Maurice has to tell his squad, don't take any penalties.
Right.
don't take, and he's got to repeat that over and over and over again. And he's an intense coach. If anybody has a ridiculous little 2-minute penalty, they'll sit on the bench. The Stars power play is no joke. They are excellent. And so I think if you play them the right way, that you can keep that power play off the ice and keep as much time with those second, third, and fourth units that are garbage. And
right, I was asking about the total. What
Hellebuck.
Oh, right.
Hellebuck is just such a great goalie, and
so right. I was asking why you wouldn't take the under 6.
Oh, I wouldn't take the under 6. Sorry. They're just about the offense. Both these two power play units, like the Stars are getting 2 power play goals a game.
Yeah.
My lean is definitely under. If it was 6.5, I would take it.
Yeah, and I did bet it at 6.5. All right, I'll think about that one. Let's move on. What else do you want to give as a pick here, Jim?
These are very, very difficult spots. I thought this NHL card was very tough. I like the spots that we have, but the other ones I thought maybe we could talk them out and see. The Islanders at Capitals was an interesting spot. Islanders have won 5 of 6. Tavares has 9 goals, 12 points in his past 5 games. They're 4th in goals per game at 3.7. Halak I was saying so many negative things about him about a week and a half ago. He's playing better than I expected. 2.66 goals against average, 9.16 save percentage, 1-4 straight. The Capitals don't look good. 5-6-1. They're supposed to be an offensive team, but they sit 18th in goals per game at 2.9. I don't see that changing anytime soon with Burakovsky and Connolly out. They're top heavy. If they don't get a power play, they have a hard time scoring. Now the Capitals play 13 of their next 18 at home. So it'll be interesting. We can see if they get on a run, but I like this Islanders squad. And
Yeah, that game's a pass. And actually, it's interesting you said, because I have all my maybe picks here, and actually we pretty much covered all of them. The only ones that we didn't get to were I was thinking maybe about what's your take on Reimer in goal for Florida? I was thinking about the Columbus team total over at 2.5 -150.
That's a really interesting spot. I don't like the way Reimer has played.
Right.
And the real reason why that was such a nice... Okay, this is the problem. I was looking at this game very closely. The Panthers are the worst power or penalty killing team in the league at 72.7, and here they get to play the worst power play. So the Jackets are 8.6% on the power play. So if the Jackets can't take advantage of this terrible penalty killing, then I'm concerned that won't go over.
Yeah. So I was thinking about the Columbus team total over. I was also thinking maybe a shot with Montreal, Minnesota over. What's your take on that one? Obviously, Montreal has been a lot more explosive offensively very recently. Do you think that's for real or a mirage?
It seems like it will be for real because Galchenyuk is back playing well again. He scored in 3 of his past 4 games. The issue is that, and you mentioned this last week, that Dubnyk does not look good. And I keep expecting him to step up. So Alex Stalock started in goal for the Wild last game, and he looked really good. There could be a goaltending controversy brewing in Minnesota. Dubnyk has 3.04 goals against, 905 save percentage. That's not good enough in front of this defense that really keeps all the shots to the periphery. Price will be back in net tonight. Is he a terrible goalie all of a sudden?
I don't know. That's the big question. I think maybe he is, or at least for the until further notice.
I just don't expect. I just can't imagine a world where he's a terrible goalie. So 3.64 goals against, 883 save percentage in 10 games. I can totally see why I like the Wild. I was amazed last year that the Wild were 2nd in the league in offense. I did not see that coming. They sit 12th in offense this year with all their injuries.
Yeah.
Now they've scored 2 goals or fewer in 3 of their last 4 games on this homestand, but they always score more goals than I expect them to. So what is the line on the over? On the over,
it's 5.5. Kind of a standard total play there. 5.5. It's right now 5.5. Yeah, like -106. -105-ish. I was just thinking that Price is a little bit iffy, Dubnyk a little bit iffy. The offensives could be good enough to get it over to make it a good play at that line. All right, Jim, we got. I don't know what I'm going to do. We got to pick it up. And then I was also thinking about Detroit and Ottawa over. Obviously, Detroit has been having issues scoring for a while, but that's why we're getting a low line here. And what do you think about that? You have anything to say about that?
Is that at 5?
No, it's 5.5.
Yeah. The Senators have allowed 16 goals in 3 games and get Kyle Turris back. I think this was something I almost took. I think you're on the right track here. The Sens are scoring way more than I expected them to. 3.6 goals per game, which is 7th in the league. They have the 11th best power play, 4th best penalty killing. They look good. And then the Wings finally got some offense. Now, was that just because they played the hapless Coyotes? That is possible. These are tough spots, very tough spots. Yes, we have the low-hanging fruit with the Blues, and the Lightning. But then beyond that, I think this is a really tough card.
Right. And then very quickly, what about Carolina, Colorado? I was thinking about maybe a shot with the over. Colorado, obviously, at times can be explosive offensively. Two questionable goalie. Or what's your take on Varlamov? Do you think he's like a sieve now or going to be better? Last game was terrible. Do you think he bounces back in a big way here or another questionable game?
I think it could be a questionable game. Yeah. He looked absolutely terrible. And then Bernier came in and looked good. Varlamov was supposed to be the reason why this Avalanche team would be better this year, and that certainly isn't the case. And then the Hurricanes lost Brett Pesky to a concussion, he plays over 22 minutes a game. So, I think this is a really nice spot for the over.
All right. You know what? We got to wrap this segment up because we got to wrap the whole show up in a second. We still haven't gotten to NBA, so we got to get to it. You know what I will do? It's a little bit hasty, but I will give all of my leans that I'm thinking about here. I will give Carolina, Colorado over. I will give the under in Dallas, Winnipeg. And what was the other total that I was thinking about? The Columbus team total over 2.5 minus 150. What do you think about that one, Jim?
Well, first off, I'm going to come on board with one of those.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to take the over in the Carolina-Colorado game.
Okay.
I'm going to go over 5.5. And what do I get there?
Carolina, Colorado, over 5.5, minus 115. Minus 115.
Okay, I'm going to add that to my card. I think that's a good spot.
And what do you think about the Montreal, Minnesota over again? That was my other lean.
I do not expect Price to be this horrible.
Yeah.
And but because Dubnyk is so questionable, I definitely see why you would like the over here, and it makes sense to me.
And the Dallas Winnipeg, I will throw that one on the under. You think that one's just a little bit questionable, or a bad pick that you would talk me under?
No, I wouldn't talk you out of it. If it was 6.5, like you saw this morning, I would pounce on it.
Right. Okay, so let's sum up our picks here. Jim's on the Tampa Bay puck line plus 178, St. Louis puck line plus 170, Vegas Boston over 6, Winnipeg money line plus 101, and Carolina Colorado over 5.5. I am on Tampa Bay minus 1, Tampa Bay first period money line, St. Louis minus 1, Carolina Colorado over 5.5, and Dallas Winnipeg under 6. And I guess the Montreal Minnesota game I will now I'll give that one too. What the hell? I'll give that one too. If that one loses, if that one wins, and I don't give it, I'll be annoyed. So that's Montreal Minnesota over 5.5 minus 106. You think that's a bet I should stay off of, or
no,
why
not?
I
think you're in a nice spot.
Okay, so I'll take all three of those totals leans. I hope that at least two of them win: Carolina, Colorado, Montreal, Minnesota, and the Dallas, Winnipeg under.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.